What does it mean to go through an ascension process and witness the polarization or the chaos around us while trying to be in center and up level and be in service to humanity? We really want to just deliver in our experience what that looks like, and also feel into what it is that we need as a collective and as groups that are coming together around the world.
Yeah, Alcazar for months, or actually years, has been talking about community. And over these years, we've built many, many thousands of people in the Stargate community. And many of the people that are in the Stargate are also with Ascension One. And we're bringing groups together. And it's about this combining, joining, creating a larger field of oneness on a very physical, practical level, as well as expanding out into the larger experience of what does oneness actually mean.
In some ways, these gatherings, wherever they take place around the world, when we tap into that deep state of oneness, and there is almost like a ripple effect that goes across the planet. And when there is, the greater the fields are that these groups are holding, that we are holding, the stronger the ripples that are across the collective and the consciousness. And I do believe that makes a huge difference. Otherwise, we wouldn't be being told by higher forms of consciousness that that's very important and very relevant. And it feels very important and very relevant.
So we're creating this coming together. And that's very much against what's happened in the past. And it's letting go of the boundaries that we tend to create, not just in the work that we're doing, but in our personal lives.
And so in a sense, it's as if the Stargate community has been tapping the quantum field, creating this oneness. We've literally been connecting around the world for years now in our meditations. And so has Asil's community with Evolution One. And so these two quantum fields are kind of like merging. And whenever two waves come together, it creates an amplification. So, Asil, do you want to say a little bit about who you are and your work?
Sure. So, my name is Asil. With Evolution One, we're a nonprofit that operates the work of the guides, which are angelic guides, and the Elohim, to deliver this upgrade of human consciousness, of the individual, to be in service to humanity's awakening. It's like a super essential time, as we all know, and the energies are rising. It's getting very potent, right? Every full moon, every new moon, every solar flare, like there are so many of those. It's getting so strong. So how do we receive that energy without it creating more of that destabilization or volatility? How can we become centerpieces in humanity, in our communities, so we have these unwavering lights no matter what happens in the fluctuations that occur? So that has led us to create pillars of light around the world and earth keepers around the world who work with the energetic grid of the planet. As you guys have the grid of the Stargate, we have the so-called ascension grid that is established on top of sacred sites. So they're basically saying if energy is stagnant on the planet in certain areas, that field cannot hold a high frequency. And that can be changed and alchemized by the sacred sites of that region, or by cleaning collective trauma sites of that region. So we developed these, incredible earth keepers that basically go around the world or collectively project their consciousness to a sacred site to deliver an attunement to that site. And we believe through that, and we feel that the field in certain regions starts to adjust, holds a different space for that consciousness, for the individuals in that space to be able to tap into the non-dual states that we have already been doing. And as you know, it's very simple. The way I explain it to individuals that don't have spiritual background, right? And everyone here does. But let's assume there is someone you want to talk to about this crazy work that we do. I say, if you go into a room in which there has been, a fight or years of anger and worry and sadness, you'll feel it's dense, right? There's a sense of, oh, this is feeling a little dense and heavy and so on. And that heaviness is very strong in places of collective trauma. And when you go into a home where it has been a lot of happiness and joy, you feel the lightness. When you go into a temple where prayers has been done for thousands of years, you feel the opening, right? That's the different fields that are established by the energy of humans. And that is very strong in sacred sites and collective trauma sites in opposite directions, right? And in that sense, the work is obviously very big, but also very important. And I love for us, whenever we come together, there is like an easy way of co-creating. It's like, it almost fits like a glove, it's perfectly connecting. And it's seamless for me personally. When I feel the energetics and also the resonance, it feels seamless. The same way I feel like there's almost no differentiation when I feel Stargate people or Evolution 1 people, and we have an overlap of people, right? It's very seamless. And that's what I love about doing this type of work and this time with you guys.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've just been on stage together here in Shasta with the Lemurian Life Expo, and for sure it's such a delight to co-create with you. And I got to be in the audience while you were doing your transmission, and I was describing to you this feeling I got where it was almost like this like cocoon of like kind of like stillness that was like around me, and you said, oh yeah, that's the
liquid honey.
So it's like, this is what's fascinating is at the level of spiritual delivery, to use a term that you use, we're doing so much of the same work, which is truly, the Stargate is here to assist in the awakening of humanity. The work that you are doing is highly specialized and fascinating in all the ways that you just described, in terms of also creating these pillars of light, this foundation around the world. So when we come together in these collaborations, like, to me, it's like Stargate creates this energy field, and we have so many people now who are so adept at holding that field. And so every single human who's with us is not just receiving an energy experience. You are literally pulling in energy from the quantum field and radiating it. So you're a receiver and a transmitter.